everyone, it's Henrietta and Heather, and welcome to a Millennial podcast where we dive deep into the life of our 30s.
We'll discuss our struggles, dreams, relationships, icks, and anything millennials can relate to. Sit back, relax, and let's head on this journey together. We are 30s Unfiltered.
What's the pettiest reason you've ever rejected someone?
I think the pettiest reason, because they're short. I think that that's a huge turnoff for me. And if they're short, it's just like an automatic no. Or if they're the same height as me, I'm like, it's not gonna work out.
And now you're talking like at a bar, right?
Just in general, honestly, like even on Hinge, if I see their height is like just an inch or two above mine, I'm like, it's not gonna work out.
And you know what I also feel like on dating apps? When they say that they're either 5'8" or 5'9", I know they're 5'7". Like I just
Is that
know.
a fact?
I mean, ask any woman. I feel like it's pretty like I feel like from like 5'8" to 5'10", they're actually just 5'8" or 5'7". Like I don't know what it is about that, but I feel like that's almost always the case. And I have done the same thing. Like I have dated guys my height in the past, and it just felt like I felt too big. I'm not gonna lie. I just felt like, and even because I went out with this guy, he was super sweet. Um, and I knew his height because I think it was from a dating app, I'm pretty sure. And so I was like, oh, I can't even wear like high heels. So I wore like maybe like, a couple inches, maybe like 2 inches or so. And I remember I was just like, oh, I just feel big compared to him. But that's not the pettiest reason because I was like, what's my pettiest?
Yeah, what's yours?
So I went out with this guy and we went to dinner. I think one other thing that I feel like initially or like right away I'm like, oh, I'm already like feeling a type of way if he doesn't initiate, like, let's meet here at this time or whenever you're available, but like let's meet here, like him taking initiative, because I've had so many times where do you want to go? You should pick. I'm like, take some initiative. Like you asked me out. But
Right.
we went to dinner. I think we went to because I think I decided, and I think we went to the Little Next Door. Do you remember that
Oh
restaurant?
yeah, that place is really cute.
Hmm. He was a few years older than me, and like he had like a solid job. Like he was like doing well for himself, but he refused to go home to visit his family if his parents would not buy his tickets to go home.
What a brat.
Yeah.
What a fucking brat.
Yeah. So he was like, no, I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. No, I didn't go home for Christmas because my parents wouldn't buy me the ticket. And I'm like, and he also, I think he asked if we could split the bill. So I'm like, you cheap motherfucker.
What is that called? Going Dutch?
Yeah, I think so. But like, we're not in Europe. We're in America, and here on the first day, like, I'm sorry. Like, I just being from Norway, I never take it for granted for anyone to pay for me. But I know how the culture is in America when you go on at least a first date. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to impress the girl. Don't do that shit. And I remember, like, he just seemed like the cheapest, like, dude ever. So
What's like one of the biggest icks that you've ever gotten?
there's so many.
I'll tell you mine.
Like, is that an ick?
My,
That's
an
like,
ick,
ew.
like for me, an ick is like when a guy is just
Yeah.
flaunting how much money he has or something like that. That fucking
Yeah.
gives me the ick.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, show me the receipts then. Then I start digging. I'm like, okay, you have all this money.
Hmm. Like
That
on dating apps, if I see a guy standing in front of a sports car who's probably not even him sitting in a private plane, ew, or like holding money or like holding a Dom Perignon like at like a pool party in Vegas.
yeah.
Ew. Huge ick. Huge. Like, oh, so bad.
I don't mind the private jet one. But
You know who this is. when you send a girl you're like starting to talk to a list of your allergies.
That is fucking weird. I mean,
Why?
I could see where that comes from, like, because Mason and his friend, like, there's one friend that has this like whole allergy list, and like we all have to know about it if he comes over. Like,
That's
maybe that's like
different.
part of it.
That's different. You probably were like, okay, because if I'm gonna make your kid food, I need to know his allergies. But like, I
Why did
didn't
he
ask.
send you his list?
I don't know. Well, I think he said that he had like gone to the doctor that day because we were just like talking about like our days, and he sent me like not even one but three pictures because it was like front and back and another page.
That's so funny. Give me your medical history.
It wasn't even. It was just his allergies. I'm like,
That's
I
so
didn't ask.
funny.
Like, why did I get it? Like,
Well, I mean, hey, is that a red flag for you? You can't take him out to eat anywhere.
don't you remember? He was
I
saying
don't
that he was like
remember.
he wanted to go to a Thai restaurant. He was like
Oh, he's
allergic to tuna.
allergic. Right. But he
He's like,
still went. He's still too. I think he was still so sweet. I was still rooting for that
but it
guy.
was an ick. I'm sorry, but like those the allergies, it was an ick. And I think if I was like super into him, I'd probably think it was cute, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, also, this is a long time ago, but I also rejected a guy because he was like 10 years younger than me. And I
Mm.
mean, like, this is when I think he was like 19 and I was like, maybe it wasn't fully
Yeah.
10 years, but he was like, maybe he was like 20 or 21. And I'm like, dude, you barely just got
Mm-hmm.
out of high school. And I was like getting I think that was when I was getting my bachelor's. And so I was like 26, 27. So I'm like, no, sorry. He's like, age is just a number. I'm like, not when you're 20. No,
Oh
no.
my God. I think for me, I've always, because I've been in a relationship, so I've always rejected men.
Right.
And I'm like, damn,
Uh,
damn. I've been
okay, so
so damn loyal.
yeah. So what's the most recent
Miss Jose. The
rejection you
most
gave?
recent, a friend told me that he liked me. It was it's kind of funny. I was under the influence,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden I just get like a tap on my back, and I like turn around. And he's like, Heather. I'm like, yeah. Cause I'm just like, cause he's so serious. He's like,
Yeah,
Heather,
yeah, Heather.
I've been wanting to talk to you and tell you this. And I finally have the courage. I want you to know that I really like you. I'm just
Oh
like,
God.
I'm in shock. I'm just like, oh. And I'm under the influence. So I'm just like, oh, is this really happening right now? I'm like panicking inside. I'm just like, oh my God, what do I say? Oh God, ew, no, ew, why? And he's just like, I really like you and I really would want to take you out. And I literally paused. It felt like a century. I literally paused and I just looked at him because I was so freaked out because I was like, why?
Oh God.
Why did you do this? And I was like, I'm really sorry, but I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest. And then I turned back around. And then I turned back around. I was like, oh
Oh
my God,
God.
what just happened? No. You are definitely not my fucking type, dude.
Wait, when was this?
This was on New Year's. Literally, I was
I know who
high.
it is.
No. I was high. I
Uh,
was like drunk. So I was like cross-faded and
okay.
I had just gone high, so I hadn't smoked in a while. So I was just really out of it. Like
My God.
super out of it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I just get this tap on my back and then I'm like, and he's just like breathing so hard and heavy. And you could feel how nervous he is and the energy is like
Yeah.
so fucking
Oh
intense. And
God.
I'm just like, what is
No.
happening right now?
I was like, okay, she's been drinking and I just saw her smoking. This is my chance.
I know. I thought I was chill. I'm with my
Wait, you need to put
friends.
you
We're
need to put
hanging
that in
out.
there. That's funny as hell.
Dude, that was the latest. And I was like, oh, fuck
No,
no.
but like being asked out by your friend is so fucking awkward. The same thing happened to me like like a while ago because this like guy that I was really close friends with in high school, I remember like feeling that like maybe he was interested in being more than friends back in high school. So I even like sat him down one day and I just asked him if he was because like those were the vibes I was getting. And he was like, "No, it's just like that's how I am with like my friends who are girls." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." Um, and that was the last time I ever asked. But how many years later? Like I was home during Christmas break, and my mom and I were at the mall, and then we ran into some friends that we stopped like and talked to, and this guy was working at one of the stores in the mall, and we just happened to stop right outside of the store he worked at. Um, and so then like I just said hi, but like I was standing there with my mom, my friend, and my friend's mom. Like we all knew each other. And then I was like, hi. It's like, oh my God, like you're home. And I forget what else he said, but he was like, do you want to like get dinner like while you're here, while you're home? And the way he said it, because you know how like nobody goes out to dinner like on dates here. You just like you hang out or you get coffee.
Hmm.
Like if you ask someone to dinner, that's like
A proposal.
almost. And I was so taken aback because I did not expect him to say that. So I was like, and then like for some reason, because it was like during Christmas, so it was packed. There was like so
Hmm.
many people there, and I could just feel people stopping and like waiting for like my response. That's what it felt like, because people were listening, and I was like, I don't know if I have like time, because I was trying to be like,
Is he cute?
no. Anyway, and he was just like,
What?
so,
Hello? You didn't answer. Is
no,
he
I
cute?
don't find him attractive.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, also I don't know what he looks like now, but like then, I mean,
It's
he's
okay.
not ugly, but
We
I
all
don't find him
know you
attractive
like your
enough.
Latinos.
I mean, no, not necessarily. I just like tall, dark, and handsome. It can be
Mm.
like any type of mix.
Well, they're not dark there, so we know.
There are some. You'd be surprised if some of the guys have like you'd be surprised. Anyways,
Ugh.
but it was so awkward because he was like, no, okay, and then like he had to go back to work. And I
Mm.
was just fuck. Like I just remember people, especially like my mom and like my friend and her mom, they were like, it's just awkward. It's just awkward. Out of
I
nowhere.
know.
I'm like,
It
oh.
is awkward. Yeah. I think for me, once I start to feel this energy exchange where it's like I feel like somebody likes me, I pull back. I'm like, "Oh, you get cut off. I'm not talking to you anymore because I feel like you like me." But
Mhm.
more recently, I've confronted my guy friends and I'm like, I'm getting this vibe from you, and I just want to be straight with you that I'm not looking for anything, and
Mhm.
I don't want any relationships, and we're just friends. I just want
Yeah,
to make that clear.
yeah.
'Cause it happened with me and my other friend like a couple of months ago, and I just like started cutting him off because I was like, oh, I think he
Mm,
likes me.
I've done that.
I said it straight and I was just like, dude, I'm getting this vibe and I
Mm,
feel like you like me and I'm pulling back. And like we just had this whole conversation about it
mm.
and like we were fine. It was just all over here with me.
Yes, but because it happened not that many years ago, where one of my friends in LA definitely was acting a little inappropriate, like whenever we would go out, and I just was like, because it was like when we were drinking, and it didn't act that way when we weren't. And so I was kind of like, I don't know if I should say something, but then I would just find myself avoiding him whenever we were in like out in like social settings. And even one time he he was a little bit like too much. And so then I just ended up like making out with a random guy in the bar. Who I actually ended up going out with like
To avoid it
mhm.
completely.
I was like, just so you know, like I'm not interested. So I'm just gonna. No, but it wasn't. Well, okay. Let me like.
Let me just lay it straight and make out with somebody else so you know for sure I'm not interested in you.
Actually, what? Because I was just like, I'm just gonna talk to like some other guys, and so I did. But then like one of the guys, like we ended up hitting it off, and then we did like dance and like make out, and then we went out. But he lived in Boston, so like
Mm,
he obviously like went back home. But um, yeah.
that's
So
hilarious.
sometimes you probably should. I probably should have said something. No, I don't know. Like
Whatever.
it's
It is what it is.
whatever the situation is. Yeah, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. You got to do what you got to do. Okay, look, we're not proud, okay, but we stand by it. So, what about you? DM us or comment with your pettiest rejection stories, and maybe we will share it in a future episode.
And don't forget, sometimes it's not about being too picky, it's about knowing what you can't unsee. See you next time.
Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. We hope you got some takeaways from today's episode.
You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at 30s Unfiltered or email us at 30sunfiltered@gmail.com.
Please leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to our channels. See you next time.